Yeah, we were actually talking about this on Monday in regards to the Jake Paul and the Hasim Rahman.
I just got a
Hasim.
quick break. This is the first thing we ever talked about on this show
Mm,
was Jake Paul boxing. We talk a
you're
little
right.
bit too much about Jake Paul boxing on this
Was it?
show.
No, no, no. I think it was Logan, wasn't it?
No, we were
Was it
talking about
Jake
him boxing fucking
Woodley?
Askew or
Oh,
what
oh yeah,
Askew, remember?
Askew. Yeah. What did we
A
call
little
him?
bit too much, but
I can't
either
remember.
way, this one is a good
Askew.
combo because
Oh,
I I think Joe Rogan may have spoke out of his ass here.
yeah, yeah.
Run that so I can hit my blunt for a minute.
They
So
essentially there's on the Joe Rogan podcast yesterday. There he kind of hypothesized or speculated that the Jake Paul and Hasim fight had been canceled, and he kind of hypothesized that it was because ticket sales were slow. Nobody wanted to see the fight. Um, and the both camps said no. Actually, it had to do with the fact that the weight cut. Hasim, I believe, is what 215 regular, and they
230,
wanted 230, and they wanted to cut him to two. Originally,
205, I think it was. They
I
wanna
think
give him down?
originally it was 200, and then they gave him 205, but he wanted 215 as of like the last little while. And then the Paul camp said no,
You signed a
and
contract.
you signed a contract. And then so both sides said, you know what, cancel the fight. And Joe Rogan said it's because ticket sales were so low. But then you brought it up to me this morning that Madison Square
Madison
they
Square, yeah,
released
they said
some.
yeah,
Go
they
ahead.
said that. And see, the thing is, it's crazy, Fab Bundy, they do absolutely miss weight, or they do absolutely cancel fights for missing weight. It just there's a clause in
Happens
a
all.
contract. So in this case here, I think both sides, I think Jake was like, "There's no fucking way they're gonna make the weight." And then I think also on Rahman's side, they're like, "We'll try. We'll try to make the weight." But it's one of those ones where it's like setting somebody up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Like in a situation where I think Jake's team knew he wasn't gonna be able to do this. His manager was literally calling fucking Rodman's camp to see what's going on, like in terms of like, hey, you just lost a fight recently against Tommy Morrison's son, kind of out of shape, you ain't been training. Do you want to take this fight? And like they literally told him like, you need to take this right now, or you're never gonna get this opportunity again. So they're like,
Let's do it.
okay.
Sign me up, and we'll see what we
Didn't
can do.
didn't think in the future like, okay, my body probably can't cut weight like this. Like it's not gonna get to the point of like fucking healthy figure. Like we talked about this right before we started. You're literally cutting water weight. These people are losing water weight. They're hurting their organs to get to the point of just the weigh-in, which is super unhealthy for you. It's like most fighters don't perform as well because of that, because they cut all that weight. They think they will because they'll be big when they rehydrate. They'll be weigh this much in the ring, but like in this case, especially in boxing,
Imagine the fatigue that takes out on your body, man. Right
dude,
before a fight, and then you're going to put everything you have out in the ring. It's like you're going to exhaust yourself. You need every little ounce of energy, and when you push yourself for the weight, and to say that they don't cancel fight for weight, that it happens all the time. The
all the
the
time.
the thing is that it happens less often that they'll still take the fight. So it won't be for a title. It'll just be for shits and giggles, for the pay-per-views or what
And you
have
get
you.
a
They'll
cut of
take
their
the
fucking
fight,
money.
but they'll cut. Yeah, they'll cut. You're not getting your money. You're not getting a title. That happens, but I wouldn't even say that happens more often. I'd say they cancel fights due to weight more often than they let them continue, and for obvious reasons. Like it's dangerous. It's dangerous. You can't have someone in there that's it's legal. It's legalese. You've signed a contract based on how much you will weigh or how much you weigh now and how much you will weigh then. And it's written down. You know your body. Your team knows your body. These aren't amateurs. These are professional
No.
people,
His
professional
dad
teams. So
fucking
yeah, this is it's in the
former heavyweight
blood, man.
champion,
It's
you
in the
know?
family. So this isn't just a first day. They know exactly what they're doing.
I
Um,
think here's my hypothesis. Bro Rogan says, Daddy said, "You fucking suck at boxing, so I'm not gonna send you out there, son, because you're gonna embarrass our whole family. Because this random little shitty YouTube kid is gonna start you." And I hate to say
yeah.
that, but like,
Hey,
Hasim Rahman Jr. fucking sucks.
you,
Go
not a
watch his
Jake
fights,
Paul
bro.
fan
12
here,
and 1
man.
against like more cans than Jake Paul's boxed against. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You can't like I understand that the sideshow is the Paul family in general.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that these sons of bitches can fight, man, or box. Let's just say box.
Yeah.
They
Well,
have skill.
Jake more
Jake more than
than
Logan,
Logan.
sure,
Yeah, Logan
sure, yeah,
fucking
hundred
looks like he's
percent.
trying to mow the lawn with his arm, like,
Yeah, he
digging
looks
down
like an
the
oaf.
grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like an oaf. But Jake can fight, man. Jake can
Yeah.
fight. He can hold his own. And yeah, he hasn't boxed a boxer per se or someone a professional. But that's not to say that you can't give credit where credit is due. And he looks like a fighter when he's out there, a boxer when he's
Yeah.
out there in the ring. So
I
yeah,
totally agree, man. And then if you like, I've been watching boxing since I was fucking born, man. Like, I'm a combat sports fan. Give me a fighter other than maybe Lomachenko, who had amateur boxing, Olympic boxing, all that shit. Name me a boxer who has not crushed cans for their first 30 fights,
mhm,
and I will wait.
yep, yeah.
Deontay Wilder, Mike Tyson, fucking,
Talk,
the
yeah.
Gypsy King, if we wanna talk to other than, like, some classic Mexican fighters who they were thrown to the wolves, like, if we're talking way back, like Barrera and stuff not way, 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 but, like, early '90s and shit, maybe you could even argue the Golden Boy. Maybe. But majority of fighters, they only fight names past their prime. Floyd Mayweather's a prime example, other than
Yep.
against, like, uh, no, past their prime. So,
Yeah,
it's just
and to
really
get an
like
example, you're going into the early 2000s.
yeah, I'm trying to think of anybody who really stepped up against a real name. Canelo would be the only fucking person I could think of, and even still, his record was against cans the first 20, 30 fights because the promoters wanna build you up so that way you have a big name and you can sell. Jake Paul's an anomaly because he's already a big name that sells with no numbers. So
Yeah,
the
people
building
just
the
wanna see
record
him get
kind of is
knocked the
weird.
fuck out.
Well, and see, that's the thing is, but then do you wanna see Jake Paul versus a random really good nobody boxer? Like, I mean, I do because I wanna see him get starched, right? But the world doesn't give a fuck. They'll give
No,
more of a shit about a name that has some value, and even Hakeem Rockman Jr. is like,
that
"Hakeem Rockman Jr."
this probably
Like,
would have been one of his most respectable fights to
but the
date, with
problem
an
is
opponent
people like
like
me
this.
would have been screaming like, "He fucking boxed against a kid also." Like, he beat a dude who sucks. Like, the guy doesn't even put his hands up. Like, he looks like he's on the moon when he fights. He's
Just
so
slow motion.
slow and fucking confused. Like, he does not have the sweet science. He's got the sweet tooth because that shit does not I don't know what's going on.
When can you find the Madison Square Garden statement, if you can at all? Madison Square Garden, Jake Paul fight might do it for us. I'm just curious what their official statement is in regards to the seating. Madison Square. Oh, perfect. MMA news. I'll take that. Let me pull this
All
up.
these little ass kids go buy these tickets. These fucking
Matt.
non-fight fans who suck Jake Paul's
Oh,
dick from behind, they're
yeah. Of
buying the
course.
tickets, guys. I know
Of course.
we won't be there, but,
No,
like,
no,
yeah.
no.
Look
Their
at that
fan,
or the fucking
his
YouTube
fans are
clash of
16 under, 16
well,
and under.
that clash of whatever, that YouTube shit,
Oh,
like,
yep, yep.
dude, I watched a bunch of coverage of that, not a single decent fighter. The audience was full of a bunch of
No,
little young
all
white nerdy
YouTubers.
kids, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yep.
that's really what it is. Who
Madison
use
Square
crypto
Garden,
money.
the New York venue that was scheduled to host Jake Paul versus Hassim this Saturday, has spoken out on claims of a poor ticket gate. Now, of course, they're going to speak out because I feel like their name is involved in this in somehow. Anyways, Paul and Raymond, how do you actually say it?
Ramen?
I
So
don't
it's like
want to say
Ra
ramen because I feel
Ron?
like it's noodles. We're
Kinda
slated to
like that.
headline a boxing event Saturday night at the Madison Square in New York. However, the event was canceled in recent days after the two sides went back and forth on extra weigh-ins and other weight-related elements surrounding the fight. The president, Dana White, made headlines recently when he op- opened, opened that.
Didn't
I don't know. It's a weird one there, and it's that they okay. Go down. I just want to see what Madison Square Garden said. Um, to be clear, sales were strong. Okay, here we go. Heading into the fight, the cancellation was not based on ticket sales. Madison Square Garden said, based on the fight, this fight was projected to be in the top 10 of highest grossing box events in the past 15 years. Wow.
Honestly, for
Okay.
Madison Square Garden, I'm not boxing is fucking dead, bro. For, like, real
Oh, I get
boxing,
it. But
it's
they use
dead.
MSG for everything. Like,
Nowadays,
they'll,
MSG's lost that pop that
yeah,
it
that
once had, you know what I'm
nostalgia.
saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
No, I
But
believe it, like I
yeah,
said, like, and even, like, a Black 2 saying down here, like, "But YouTube fight went bankrupt?" Yeah, because these fuckers are dumb at business, but people still go and see this shit. People like to watch train wrecks, man. I don't know why, but they do. They do. Like,
yeah.
it boils
Yeah,
down
there's
to the
this.
situation. I don't
I
think
don't even.
MSG would lie in this case because they've got way more on the table than Jake Paul fight. I think they'd rather have Jake Paul sit out and be embarrassed versus like, "Fuck, as Madison Square Garden, all of our history. we have to clear the air so that way Jake Paul's not mad at us and will come and put like,
Right?
it
That
wouldn't
makes
make any
no
sense if they would
sense.
just lie
No.
about it.
No, that makes no sense. And you
They'd
would
say, "Yeah,
think that
ticket
they
sales
would
suck, so
want.
we're never having him here again."
Right, right. So I don't know what to believe. It's hard to believe either of the camps, but I will. I do feel like maybe MSG has got. I would listen to them. I don't know. I have the.
I think
I
the
don't know.
Paul camp just fucked, Ramen. I think the Ramen camp just didn't look at, uh, the details as much as they should have. I think it was
Right,
very conscious with
right.
Jake Paul's team because they wanted to find somebody who had a record, who had a somewhat of a name, who also was very beatable, coming off a loss, wasn't training, and was gonna struggle to make weight. Like, they literally gave him the most uphill battle possible to position Jake Paul as a boxer beater,
Hmm.
and it wouldn't
Yep,
like I
yep.
wasn't buying it. As soon as I saw this dude, I've been seeing this motherfucker. Everybody's son sucks. Ask Holyfield's son. These motherfuckers suck. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry. I'm sorry.
they're riding on clouds, man. You know what I mean? They're riding
Yeah,
thinking that they're great because their
'cause their
daddies did it
daddy.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
and
don't know
Hakeem
how.
Rodman, like, his dad, I wouldn't say he wasn't great, but, like, he only had a his claim to fame was, like, 14 minutes. He knocked out, Lennox Lewis, and fucking bad, really bad. That's worth checking
Bad.
out if you and then Lewis came back and absolutely just starched him. Last time I saw Rodman, he had a fucking hematoma on the top of his head so big, like, horrible. Otherwise, like, he wasn't that great either. He was a decent boxer in his time, but the era of heavyweight boxing was not, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the era. Let's see this real quick. We can see this real quick.
Yeah, yeah. This is a
This is the
classic.
most fucking just and mind you, Lewis was I think he only lost 1 fight at this time before, and then he came and beat the guy who beat him and made him cry in the ring and quit. Literally cry and quit. And Robin was a nobody, didn't think he was gonna have any
A
chance.
little higher
Not a
because
nobody.
Rockman is
See, and
still
this is
looking
when
for the
boxing
right.
is at its all
Looking for
time.
that lucky right hand
Oh,
shot.
shit.
See, there's the right hand that I was telling you.
Bachman has a terrific record in
Lewis is
terms
one of
of
the
the
greatest
knockouts.
heavyweights in
There was a
history
good
too, you know?
combination
He's good,
by
real
Lewis,
good.
gesturing to his man to come forward. Oh, uppercut once again.
Nice uppercut.
Avenged both of his
He's right,
losses
that
just by
secret
starching the dudes who beat him.
Lennox Lewis.
He's like a
He's actually
GSP.
trying to get him out of there in this round.
And they make you wait for this knockout, huh?
And you wonder,
Right?
like I said, the attitude.
A lot away in considerable
But even still, like,
too far away. Whoa.
one punch is your claim to fame. I'm not knocking that, but your one punch is your claim to fame. Like, that was his son's kinda leaning on that, and I think his dad was like, "No, no." Nickname was Rockman, supposed to be, like, hard, he's tough as a fucking rock, but unfortunately, the apple sometimes does fall far from the tree.
Boom.
Killed him. Like,
Oh, and
his
he's
hands are
reaching.
yeah.
And he's doing the Brandon Schaub.
Yeah.
Lewis has gone.
Yeah, starch, son. But then Lewis came back and did, like, the same thing to him, which is just crazy. It was just did
He smiles right before he boom.
he's getting a little cocky in there.
Boom.
Yep.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying, like, fucking and it's not like I'm the most expert of experts, but in this case situation here, Jake Paul will fucking destroy this dude's son. Like, if I don't even wanna
I
watch the fight, but if you see the fight against him and fucking Tommy Morrison's son, which is another, like, what the fuck? Tommy Morrison, if you don't know, was the dude with the mullet, was in the last Rocky movie. Well, not the last, but the last old school Rocky movie. Good movie. But
yeah.
in
Me and
this case,
movies
like
don't go together.
no?
I didn't do Rocky movies. No.
You didn't do any Rocky movie?
Nope. Nope. I know that
Movie
he
Mar
like
Top Bud's movie
he
marathon's coming soon.
he does one of these in his like sweatpants. I saw that part.
Yeah? No? Damn.
No.
Holy shit, yeah, see, this
Uh,
Tommy Morrison, he was a killer, bro.
boom.
Weird situation with him too. It supposedly incorrectly diagnosed him with HIV, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
his whole career was ruined for boxing for years. Then he ends up getting a blood test that says he didn't have HIV, comes back and boxes, dies a few years later, I believe, of HIV or of
No
AIDS.
way.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a photo right there.
I know. It's a good movie.
Oh, this is from the movie? That's why it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's such a good photo. It's
So he
like
went
that's
as
such a
Tommy Gunn.
cinematic photo.
Well, it's crazy
Damn.
because he was an actual boxer. So it's Tommy Morrison, his name, but he went as Tommy Gunn in the movie,
Mm,
which is a
Tommy
cooler name
Gunn.
than Tommy
It
Morrison.
is, ain't it?
Tommy Gunn?
All right. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
So anyways, fuck
Yeah.
Jake Paul.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Oh well. I don't think the world loses out on that one.